Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Culinary RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today here in the company of Crooked Geek, who we met last episode, and we fished a relic out for her from the line. Apparently we can go back and continue fishing anytime, but today we're gonna continue our long plight of just trying to figure out where exactly we can take a nap, because we're trying to look for a place where we can actually spend the night. Let's see, Varenoth. We haven't talked to this guy, and we are actually in the underbelly right now, by the way. There's traders all over the place. There's Government Square access over there, and that is a chapel. Over here is back to the Circus Minor. We've been doing a whole lot of stuff down here, and we have a whole lot of people around. Let's see, a flight of stone steps descending to the water. The cavern below gradually widens and connects to the sea. What about you, Varenoth? Okay, This large and heavily muscled woman wears what appears to be rags that should have fallen apart ages ago. She looks so tired that it wouldn't be a surprise if she fell asleep on her feet. And yet, when she opens her mouth, her voice is energetic, like a little girl's who's about to get a present. Oh, hello! Can anyone hear what I'm saying? I can't make this work! Without warning, she slaps herself. I hope no one saw that. Oddly, no thoughts at all come from this woman. At least you think she has none. There's a faint whispering at the edge of your hearing, but you can't make out any words. The question here is, who are you? But I think maybe what are you might be a better fit for this situation here. Let's see what happens. Oh, well, there it is. Are you talking to me? Her head swivels awkwardly around, trying to catch a glimpse of you. Oh, you are. My name is Varenoth, champion of the wastes. The woman flinches at the sound of the very different booming voice that came from her own mouth. That's not my name, you stupid thing. It's Varenoth, champion of the wastes. Damn, I come from a land you've never heard of. Damn it. I guess I'm not allowed to say. Oh, you're controlling a construct, aren't you? That's not a real body. Bah, don't be ridiculous, the other woman shouts. You've got it, the girl says a second later. It keeps yelling over me if I talk about something I'm not supposed to, she says, lowering her voice. But maybe if I speak carefully. Her chin drops to her chest. My family explores the world, using special tools. The body stabs itself with its finger pointedly. But they tell me I'm too young to help, so I waited until everyone was sleeping and, you know. The head lolls back on its neck, winking at the roof of the cavern. Are you an explorer too? Yeah, just like you. The body gets easier to control after a while. Oh, that is such a relief, she says. It looks so simple, but it's really not. So, what can that construct do? Well, it's really hard to break. My mother, that's who usually controls it, once got stepped on by an adult earth shaker. It just stuck her in the ground like a nail. The woman flexes a massive bicep. Am I flexing? The girl says. I'm trying to flex. Anyway, it's always incredibly strong. Punch holes in mountains strong. The arm flops back to her hip. And it's not really a construct. There's no metal inside. She has blood, bones, perfect human expressions. Not that you can tell that from how I do it, the girl adds sourly. The woman's face grimaces along with her. Yeah, I figured. I figured it really wasn't a construct, just somebody controlling her, apparently. Where did you get the construct? I was born in a storm on a battlefield at night, the woman roars. The girl says after a respectful silence. She really doesn't want me to tell you what I just tried to tell you. Okay. So, can't you tell me anything about where you got this construct? Well, seeds, the girl blurts. Oh, she let me say that. Oh, but I probably wouldn't get away with more. Sorry. Seeds, huh? I mean, we have heard of seeds. Have we heard of seeds before? No. No, I don't think so. Anyway, why do your people explore? Oh, our impenetrable. Yeah, our impenetrable fortress is in a long-lost valley. Is falling apart, she says. See the impenetrable fortress in a long-lost valley? In a lost valley? Capital, maybe? Anyway, I think we should just go out into the world for real, but no, my family is afraid. The fingers on the woman's right hand wiggle like they're playing an instrument. Her dead expression doesn't change even as the girl's voice rises. I'm not, of course, but they won't even let me use this thing. I have to sneak around like a child. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you later. Yep, farewell. That's weird. I don't even know who they are. explorers, he says. What about you, Whittle? Will you shout at me? Will you make me shout at my viewers right now? This young man has a bruised cheek and a number of nasty-looking daggers stuck into sheaths along his belt. Despite his rough appearance, he nods at you with weary good humor. I don't know you. What tunnel are you from? Then his eyes find your tattoo. Ah, never mind. Your kind doesn't live down here, do you? No offense. What do you mean, my kind? You know, he says, shrugging. Cast-offs, godlings, children of the changing god. Tattoo's a bit of a giveaway, like I said, no offense. He shakes his head. Yeah, it can't be easy though, can it? Living in that shadow? Huh. In the shadow of the changing god? I guess I don't know. Who are you? Name's Whittle. I work for Fulsome, the man who runs things down here. He has us patrol the place, keep an ear out for problems. And that's why we're chatting. Some muttering hooded carker in robes has been following people home. So here I am, glaring at everyone wearing anything longer than a skirt. Fulsome's fussing over nothing, he thinks. It'll blow over by the time I wake tomorrow. Okay. I thought we were gonna get a quest from that, but apparently not. Yeah, take care. Yeah, you too, man. Keep doing your good job, I suppose. We got Childs, we got a paranoid woman, and a paranoid man. What's the Jack Dream? Those two weird people keep talking about it. These guys? Paranoid woman and man. I see things, you know. I have special eyes. Oh, you know too, don't you? You smell the corruption. Yes, the Jack Dream is down here too. Oh boy, what are these guys on about? What about this mapper? From a distance, it looks as if this mutant is wearing a form-fitting suit of finely patterned lines in white, yellow, and pale blue. On closer examination, it becomes apparent that these are tattoos, and they cover nearly the entirety of his body, even his shaved head. That's the best part for you to put tattoos. Well, unless you want a job in a country that doesn't like tattoos very much. Anyway, his actual clothes are simple and worn, and his boots look as though they have seen hard use. He is studying the meaningless swirls and whirls of his arms, and mouthing names that mean nothing to you. Solvi, Balint, Urgau, Tentries. When he looks up at you, you see that a strange device covers one of his eyes. A deep blue light shines in its center, and it seems to measure and evaluate you as he focuses on you. He smiles as you approach, a broad, beaming grin that says he considers you a friend already. I'm Mapper, he says, extending his hand. A new face, he thinks. New faces mean new places. Oh, he's gonna come with me? I don't think so, otherwise he would have talked. Maybe. I've been everywhere around here, he says. I've found my way into places long sealed and best forgotten. Met all sorts of people. Can't say I cared much for some of them, it's true. His voice is fast, insistent, and incisive. Still, I try. The communities of our world are islands of light. Sometimes they wink out and sometimes they flare up. I want to light them together. I want to be a bridge. You say you want to be a bridge? How do you even do that? He shrugs, a faint smile on his lips. Well, I travel. I see places. I map them out of my skin. And maybe inside me, I don't know. I mean, the lines change when I look. They've got to be stored someplace, right? He scratches his bald head. The lines flow under his fingers. I just need to collect places. I need to know that I've done something. Making maps is all I know. It's all I want to know. Huh. Interesting. So, leaving tattoos are apparently not... I would think that these are the same as they are for Aligern, maybe. So, where did you get all those tattoos? These? These are not tattoos. They're maps. He exposes a shiny grin. Maps of places I've been, or heard of. He covers the artificial eye with his hand and says, if I look at my skin like this, it's meaningless. Then he uncovers it and says, but look at it like this. Suddenly, I see the map, springing up off my skin. I focus on it, it all comes clear. Buildings, people, smells, even a route to get there. So they're probably just data places or data things, so the eye can decode that, I suppose. It's worthless to anyone else, of course, without me to interpret the map. It's a combination of my mutation and the lens. Finding the eyepiece was the best part of being born like this. It made me feel like my life made sense at last, and that, my friend, is far more luck than anyone deserves. Huh, where have you been? It's probably easier to ask where I haven't been. All over the Saga's Protectorate, the oasis of Mirajolius, Valley of Dead Heroes, Calm Village, the ruins of Acropalasia, and all around the Black Cube, Tower of Birds, where Third Lost fell, even up past Clock of Kala and I can't pronounce that word. Vralk. Oh, it's not that hard. As he speaks, the lines of his body shift and move, coming into prominence with the words. Basically they're highlighting the places that he's talking about. Every place was a treat, an experience. Did you know most people never go more than 50 kilometers from the village of their birth? If that? Huh, I've been tremendously lucky, my friend. He smiles down at his maps. Then he looks back at you and says more quietly, well, if you plan to travel, I'd avoid the grasslands though. The birds will take your meat for their meals and your bones for their nests. Huh. Okay. Farewell then, I guess. Well, travel well, my friend. Yeah, you stay cool, man. You stay cool. What do we have in here? This vat is filled with wriggling reptilian tails, knotted and tangled together. Really? Well, they are wriggling. You might be able to see it. It looked at first that it was just heat, you know, changing the air, but it's not. They are actually wriggling. A swollen mass of wet, glistening muscle quivers in this vat. Is it muscle? Oh, it looks like a heart to me. I guess the heart is a muscle. What is this thing? Hundreds of leathery wings flutter against each other like they're trying to escape. They grow haphazardly, one sprouting from the next. Leathery wings. Okay. That's cool. What do we have here? A meatmonger. Cheap and tasty meats, straight from the vat. Oh, you sell... Oh, I see what it is. Like, oh, okay. Can I eat? A short, solid man stands behind a smoking grill, turning pieces of meat with a pair of grimy tongs. Sweat is pouring down his grizzled face, yet he's covered head to toe in grease-spattered clothes. His sleeves are tight at the wrists, and his collar pinches his neck. Nearby are three vats that are filled with living meat, great amorphous masses of it, with appendages growing from them like the limbs of animals drowning in a meat swamp. This first vat is filled with thick, throbbing muscles, red and raw. The second is a flapping monstrosity of leathery wings, and the third sprouts hundreds of lac tails, all wiggling obscenely. The cook... You mean this thing? I suppose. The cook looks up from his work and gives you a sweaty smile. Hey ho, I'm Mayok the meatmonger. What'll I have? What kind of meat do you sell? He laughs and bangs the grill with his tongs, making sizzly grease fly. Well, three kinds, friend. Anine, Drabule, and lac. Right in those vats, actually. Want some? Anine. Yeah, Anine is like... They herd Anine, from what we have heard so far. I've never seen meat grown in a vat before. How does it work? How? I couldn't tell you. Found a little doodad back when I was a butcher, and I'd fiddle with it all day long, kind of like I do now with my tongs. He waves the tongs around to show you what he means. So one day, I was fiddling with this thing while cutting up a carcass, and it kept growing back its missing parts. Cut the tail off, and there it was again, a moment later. Yeah, crazy, right? But it gave me an idea. I could open a little grill with no overhead, and it worked. Been cooking the same 3 hunks of flesh for years now. He beams. That's varied. Can you use your doodad on yourself? Oh, actually, this might be a good thing for us. Because we need to grow back the crystal in the machine. Oh, that's awesome. Funny you ask. Not long after I found it, I cut myself pretty good. Thought I'd try using my doodad to close up the wound. Well, it worked. But then I started growing toes all over my body. Didn't care for that at all, so I never did it again. Still trying to get rid of the toes. Oh, that's why it's covered head to toe. Well, that... Actually, I didn't mean it like that, but that's just not... I wonder if it was meant to be like that. Let's see. He cooks... How is it phrased? Despite he's sweating, because it says his sleeves are tight. Okay, there it is. Yeah, covered head to toe. They mean it. Oh, as a foreshadowing of that. Oh, did they really write that dialogue just for me to think? Oh boy. Anyway, you might not even... What I'm trying to say is, basically, he's covered head to toe. But if his whole body is full of toes, you get what I mean? There's a problem there. And yeah, whatever. I'd like to buy some meat, but did you say you have toes growing all over your body? Well, hey, we all got our problems, and I got it better than most around here. Ain't my fault anyway. Well, I guess it's a little bit my fault. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little bit your fault, isn't it? Why are you all bundled up like that? Well, I guess that's quite obvious. Well, on account of the toes. Nobody wants... I love it when they say on account instead of because. It's just... I love it. Nobody wants to see a man with toes growing all over his body, especially if he's cooking their food. Not even people in the underbelly got strong enough stomachs for that. Oh, is it really that disgusting? He probably stinks of feet. Because it's the toes. The toes are the problem. So yeah, I'd like to buy some meat. Sure. What do you like? An Een shank? Drabil wing? A lactail? Okay, so that is a Neen. Shank? Is that like a... Oh, an Een might be huge. Isn't shank like the side of the leg or something? I don't know too much. I'm not a native speaker, so I don't know these things. But if that's the case, these things are huge. Yeah, I like an Een shank, please. Oh, that'll be 2 sheens. Oh, sure. Pay him. Meowk, or Melk, whatever his name is, he nods, saunters over to the vat of red, throbbing muscles, and carves off a slice. He spears the meat with a sharpened bone skewer and slaps it onto his grill, sprinkling it with a flurry of spices. When the meat is cooked, he hands you the skewer, and you take a bite. The meat is gamey, a little tough though, but the spices are so intense that you hardly notice. Lots of folk eat that 3 times a day, Meowk, or Melk, winks. Wish more of them would give me Debril wings a try, but still loss, eh? Okay, I get into experience. Oh, wait a minute. You take another bite of the Aneen meat, trying to get a sense of the flavor that lies beneath the heavy spice. It tastes summons a welter of memories. You've eaten Aneen flesh before, perhaps many times. It evokes a vague sense of desperation, of a vast, ruined landscape, detonations erupting around you. Scavenging the bodies of fallen beasts for food, you realize that it isn't one memory, but many, many lifetimes, perhaps in an hellscape of war. The memory fades. Oh, that's really cool. That makes total sense as well, because, you know, eating or smells and tastes are a very good, they're a very good way to, you know, evoke memories that you might even have forgotten. So it makes sense that we would remember this sort of stuff, even though our anamnesis probably would have gotten us a little bit far on that one, but apparently not. I like to buy the Debril wings. Did he really... Do you want me to try the wings? Sure, let's go with that. That'll be 2 shins. Yeah, let's pay him. Good choice! Meowk produces a jagged knife and saws one of the leathery wings from the fluttering mass and tosses it onto his grill. It flaps weakly for a few moments, then lies still. An aroma like sweet baking fruit begins to arise from the stiffening wing. After... Oh, that's the first typo we see. Yeah, because there's a missing V, for sure. Am I wrong in this? I don't think so. Yeah, the first typo I see. I was gonna compliment the game before, because there's no typos that I've seen, but that one. Good on the game. After a short time, Meowk lifts it from the grill with a pair of tongs and hands it to you. So it's all now shriveled, and I lost a little bit. You take a bite. The wing is crunchy and sweet, with a rich and fruity taste. Good, hey? Nobody believes it till they try. Meowk grins and slaps his belly. I eat 'em all day long. Keep me trim and handsome. Really? I mean, I tend to associate belly with a fat belly, but that's not the case, is it? It's not the case. Let me try the other thing, though. Yeah, I'll try a tail, although it might be... let's pay him. 2 shins. He shrugs, giving you a dubious look. With a quick motion of his hand, Meowk tears 2... I love that name. It's weird. Meowk. I'm gonna... Meowk. It's like a meow of a cat. He tears 2 wriggling lactails from the vat, twists them together, and ties them into a loop. When he drops them on the grill, where they begin to sizzle and spit. As they cook, the green and white color grows brighter and more intense. After a short while, Meowk takes them from the grill and hands them to you. Somehow the tails are still wriggling as you take a tentative bite. The meat is flaky, overly sweet, and it fizzles in your mouth like bubbly water. Meowk shakes his head. Yeah, kids love those things. Can't stand them myself. Are they like Pop-Tarts or something like that? Because of the weird thing? I've eaten quite recently, actually, for the first time, Pop-Tarts. Or actually not Pop-Tarts, the poppy things that are like dust. They have different names. I'd never tried them in my life, and we don't really have too many of those here in Europe, at least not in Portugal. And they're weird as all hell. But, I mean, they don't taste anything. It's like, why would... It's like a funny thing. It's not even that funny, just interesting. But yeah, right, friend? Come again. Yeah, that was quite interesting. I like that. Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's go up here. We have Pelii and Levi. Oh, Pelii and 2 Levis. Not Levi. Levi's not their names. They are, Levi is the name. Levi is just their position. What exactly is going on? Oh, boy. We are in for a treat. What is that? This violet-skinned, vibrant Visitant paces back and forth before the cavern's opening. It wears fine clothes that serve to accentuate the tall, thin crest on its head. A symbol that has been painted on the crest, mirroring the insignia marked on its chest. Its clothes are finely tailored and well made. The name of the creature's race crawls to your mind. It's a Varialen. This one has temporarily chosen to be female. Her bulbous eyes flash quickly around her surroundings before focusing directly on you. The council didn't send you. That much is plain. Her voice is high and flutting. You're aware that this cave isn't safe, I hope. What exactly do you want? This cave isn't safe? Not unless you trust the discretion of the Stika, those insectoid monsters that are prowling about. Most people are afraid of them. Oh, then you mean it's not... I mean, it's a scary place. It's not just it isn't unsafe. I was wondering what you're doing here and what that is. Yeah, it's a scary place, all right. I am conducting a diplomatic negotiation on behalf of the city, she says. Unfortunately, I am not dealing with a reasonable species. Her crest flutters irritably. What is a crest? Is it the head? I think it is. Or is it the chest? I've made no progress at all, she says. Days wasted in this miserable tunnel, and I have nothing to show my superiors. Oh, who are you? An agent and negotiator, dispatched here by the council, but that should be obvious from my clothing and my guards. Yeah. What council do you serve? She gives you an incredulous look. The ruling council of the city, of course. The heads of the slave families. You must be new to Sagas Cliffs. Very new. No, well, yeah, kind of new, but I kind of knew about those. So maybe I can help you negotiate. She looks you up and down, considering. Doubtful. But you might have other skills I can use. The circumstances call for a new tactic, and these levies cannot do what needs to be done. Nor can I. The Varialen nods. If you truly think you can help, let's put it to test. She waves off the levies who flank her. Her gestures are short and choppy, sharp and irritated. It's these damnable Stika, she says. I speak to them, I offer cajole, negotiate, and threaten, yet they persist in their digging, and every day another house on the cliffs above slips into the sea. Oh, we've heard about this. It's the cliffs. They said that every once in a while a house comes down into the sea, and they didn't mind that because it's apparently the fancy part of town. If the digging does not cease, says Pelai, the city itself may crumble. So here is my request. Find a way into their lair, remove their precious eggs, and return them to me. These hostages shall ensure the future of the city above. And also turn a tidy profit, she says, if I could get them all. Okay, so... Yeah, she pauses. If you can negotiate a lasting settlement that does not require such drastic measures, you may also pursue that method. But I have been trying for days with no success. Yeah, I think I can help you.
Updated my journal.
Good. We need to stop the Stika before they bring down the entire substructure of the city. She pauses and lowers her voice. Well, if you manage to infiltrate their lair, be sure to acquire all their eggs. I suspect they will have multiple clusters, and we will need them all if we want to negotiate from a position of strength. She hands you a synth ball with a blinking device inside. What is that? That's a cipher. A panoramic capture ball. Really? It's like a 360 camera. Clears the fog of war. No, it's not. Well, it works for something different. Clears the fog of war in the current area. Consumes movement. Perfectly spherical and spherical and brightly polished. This device activates when you throw it into the air. A rapid chirping sound follows, and the sphere returns to your hand. The capture ball then displays images of your current environs on a screen, allowing you to see everything that is happening in your vicinity. It is able to peer through walls, doors, and solid rock. The effect lasts until you leave the area. Okay, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. She hands you a synth ball with a blinking device inside. Once you're in the lair, she says, activate this. It will show you all the tunnels, the egg clusters, and the Stika themselves. Better to know what you face before you charge ahead. And yeah, I'd like to ask some questions before I go. Very well. Be aware that the time you spend with me is more time for the Stika to undermine the city. Yeah, I don't think that matters in this game. So how can I reach the Stika lair?
That.
Well, if I knew, she says, I would go there myself. The Stika are quick to dispatch intruders, and I doubt they would take humans or Varielans there of their own accord. Perhaps a construct of some sort or a digging machine, but I know little of fabrication or manufacturing, so I will leave that for you to explore. I wonder if the constructs that we had before could have helped me in that, but we do have a broken one. I'm not sure I will be able to fix it, but we'll see. I'm still looking... excuse me. I'm still looking for a way into the Stika lair. Any other ideas? Well, some sort of digging construct? Perhaps. She leans close. This is your puzzle, my friend. I am merely your employer. Okay, can you tell me about yourself? She warbles deep in her throat. I am Pelii, an accredited agent of the slave families. I act with your full faith and authority to resolve the Stika crisis. Okay, so what can you tell me about them? The Stika, I mean. Well, filthy animals, scattering insects. Who can say if they're even sentient? First and foremost, they dig, and they care nothing for the homes they destabilize or the lives that are lost when our buildings collapse. They do not speak the truth reliably, so we cannot know if they understand the damage they cause. She frowns, though I suspect that they do. Ask me your questions. Okay. So how do you communicate with them? Her crest flutters as she hisses in irritation. I have not the faintest idea. I don't even know if they fully understand the truth. The truth? Wait a minute. They don't speak the truth well enough. She's not saying that that they are lying. She's saying that the truth is the word. That's an interesting way of putting it. Like the language. I mean, perhaps the one that points at itself and chitters can help. I call it chkekt. It can mutter a handful of words and perform some sign language. I've tried to negotiate with it, but I have gotten nowhere. Yeah, that's where mind reading would come in handy, wouldn't it? I think we might have some. So, where did the sticker come from? Her eyes wobble in frustration. Well, if I knew, I would send them back there in a trice. Some years ago, perhaps decades, they simply appeared here, and they have been causing problems ever since. So what are they doing here? I cannot imagine. They dig incessantly. They insist upon digging tunnels underneath the city, destabilizing the crag upon which Saga's Cliffs is built. Countless buildings have collapsed or fallen into the sea, more so than it is ordinary. Based on the shoddy construction so many of our residents employ, the problem has struck Cliff's Edge especially. Many loyal citizens have perished. Yeah, this seems more like a really... I really understand where they're... Look at that. They're just... Are they digging right now? They're digging right now, aren't they? Anyway, yeah, basically this could be a weapon used by an enemy of the city, and just, you know, put these guys in here. They know they're gonna dig, and or maybe they could be working actually for them instead of just being a weapon. You never know. But in any case, this needs to be taken care of. I mean, these guys are breaking the law, so I'm not really sure what I will do, but, well, my character will do, but we'll see. We'll see. My character means well. That's the one thing that we know, is that our character means well. What that well is gonna be, we'll see, but he's always gonna try to help somebody. If there's just one person to help, then I guess he'll just help that one person at any cost. But apart from that, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So, you mentioned the slave families. Who are they? Oh, don't tell me I'm new here. She scoffs and then points to the sigil marked upon her breast. The slave families are the descendants of those brave souls who rose against the injustice of the previous ruler of Saga's Cliffs. Led by Chilla the Great, they cast down the tyrants and tore their families asunder. The faithful who stood with Chilla saw their service rewarded with stewardship of the city. Their descendants carry on with this grand tradition. And she bows. They have made me their agent. So they are usurpers. I mean, they say that they were tyrants, but the slave families... Oh, I see. So if the name means anything, then the tyrants would be the slave owners. Oh, I see. I see. So they are usurpers, but they were slaves before. Okay, I see. I see how that goes. Let's see. I mean, assuming the names are correct, of course. The name slave families are still representative of what actually happened. Let's see. Okay, well, farewell. Indeed, she says. Okay, and with that, it's time to end the episode. That guy's definitely digging in there, and this is... whatever his name is, it's hard to pronounce. I'm gonna train in between episodes to say his name, but for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye!